Chosen one. The moment you pause today is a reminder that your life has never existed without meaning. Because a profound purpose was placed within you long ago and is now beginning to awaken. I want you to breathe slowly. Allow the sounds outside to recede for a moment. And listen with the deepest part of yourself, where you often hide questions that have never been answered. You do not need to fear the restlessness you have felt recently. Nor should you assume that you are losing direction merely because familiar things no longer satisfy you as they once did. The restriction you feel does not necessarily mean that everything is falling apart. Sometimes it is evidence that you have grown too much to continue fitting comfortably inside patterns that have become too small. I am leading you nearer to what is genuine, where you no longer need to run after every voice, force yourself to belong in every room, or carry every expectation others have placed upon your shoulders. I have seen you move through life with a perseverance few people understand. You carried responsibility with kindness, preserved dignity when misunderstood, and often wiped away your tears before stepping outside to continue caring for others. There were battles known only to you, and nights when you wondered why you had to make such great efforts while the result remained so distant. You believed that you were wandering, but every part of the road was teaching you something necessary. Rejection helped you recognize the places that were not wide enough for the gift you carry. Silent seasons taught you to hear the voice within rather than depend upon applause. Disappointment helped you understand that not everything that shines is suitable for you. You were not forgotten while waiting. You were being made steady so that when the right door opened, you would not lose yourself through excitement or fear that it might close again. Your purpose is not a title printed upon a business card, nor is it one profession you must discover and hold for the rest of your life. Work may change, positions may shift, and environments may become different. But the essential thing placed within you can continue flowing through every place where you are present. Some people are called to bring healing through listening. Some open roads through courage. Some bring order into chaos. And others help those who have been overlooked feel seen. Observe what you naturally continue doing, even when no one pays or praises you. Remember the problems that continually stir your heart, the people you feel compelled to support, and the abilities that cause you to lose awareness of time while using them. These signs are not the complete answer, but they may be pieces of a map showing where your gift desires to serve. For a long time, you attempted to find purpose by looking at the lives of others. You saw their success, recognition, or faster progress, and wondered whether you had missed something. But another person's road cannot become the measure of your calling. A seed has not failed merely because it germinates more slowly than the tree beside it. It has its own season, its own depth, and its own kind of fruit. When you continually compare yourself, you neglect the ground entrusted to you. Stop trying to imitate the way of life of someone who does not carry the same lessons, abilities, and responsibilities. What I placed within you does not need a copy of anyone else. It needs your faithfulness. You may learn from others, but do not exchange your own voice in order to resemble them. Your uniqueness is not a reason for pride. It is a responsibility to use your gift uprightly and usefully. Some doors are closing because they have completed their purpose. You may grieve a relationship, a job, or a plan that was once important. But do not immediately interpret every ending as punishment. Certain places taught you what you needed to learn, but cannot carry you into the next stage. If you continue holding on, only because something is familiar. Your hands will have no space to receive what is new. I am simplifying your road, not to make life poorer, but to help you concentrate upon what has genuine value. Conversations that nourish only negativity will increasingly exhaust you. Connections that require you to make yourself smaller will no longer fit. Habits that once helped you avoid pain will begin to feel restrictive. Allow this discomfort to lead you into examination, but do not act impulsively. Let what needs to leave depart through wisdom rather than bitterness. Purpose is not discovered only during moments of intense emotion. It becomes clear through a consistent life. You may feel a powerful prompting, but if you do not turn it into small daily actions, it will remain only a beautiful dream. If you feel called to write, begin writing, even if no one is reading. If you want to help others, learn how to help through skill and boundaries rather than passion alone. If you want to build something useful, develop the discipline required to complete work no one can see. Small steps do not make a calling less sacred. They create a vessel strong enough to carry something greater. I do not need you to begin upon a large stage. I need you to remain faithful to what is already in your hands, because the way you care for small responsibilities reveals how ready you are for greater ones. You must also distinguish purpose from the need for recognition. Sometimes you believe you want to create influence, but deep within, you are only seeking proof that you possess value. When this lack leads you, praise can intoxicate you and criticism can destroy you. I want to release you from that dependence. Your value does not increase when many people know your name, nor does it diminish when your work occurs in private. Some contributions transform a family, a small group, or even one person. Yet their influence continues spreading through many years. Do not despise what is quiet. One timely statement may prevent someone from giving up. One honest decision may end a cycle of deception within a family. One healthy boundary may open a new way of loving for the next generation. These things are not always publicly recognized, but they still carry profound meaning. I am not telling you that everything will become completely clear from today onward. Some parts of the journey appear only after you begin walking. If you demand a complete map before starting, fear will keep you in place while disguising itself as caution. Use the light you possess for the next step. You do not need to know where you will be 10 years from now. You need only recognize what is right and waiting to be done today. It may be learning a skill, ending a commitment that is no longer healthy, calling someone who needs encouragement, or dedicating time to restoring your health. When you live faithfully within the present step, the next one will gradually be illuminated. Purpose is not a secret destination hidden far away. It is often formed through the way you choose to love, work, and preserve integrity during this ordinary day. My beloved child, remember that you were not created to rescue everyone or carry every pain you see. Your calling must include limits, or passion will become exhaustion. You can serve and still rest, love and still say no, accompany someone without taking responsibility for their choices. Do not believe that continual suffering is necessary to prove that your life has meaning. Genuine purpose may require sacrifice, but it does not require self-destruction. I want you to become a sustainable source of light, not a flame that burns brilliantly and then quickly dies because it was never cared for. Honor your body, time, resources, and loved ones. A life arranged in harmony will give your gift room to grow in a healthy way. Now stop calling yourself someone who is wandering. You are learning, being refined, and gradually returning to alignment with what is best within you. The things that no longer satisfy you are reminding you that it is time to live more deeply. Closed doors are helping you stop scattering your attention. Unanswered questions are inviting you nearer to truth instead of allowing you to settle for shallow explanations. Move forward without needing to prove anything to the crowd. Let your life become your response. Work with devotion. Speak with kindness. Preserve boundaries calmly. And use what you possess to support what is good. Your purpose is not to become someone admired by everyone, but someone faithful to what I planted within. When you live this way, you will no longer need to run far away searching for your calling, because you will recognize that it has quietly accompanied you for a very long time, waiting for the day when you would become courageous enough to name it and follow. You crossed an invisible boundary when you chose nobility instead of allowing pain to decide who you would become. I know that recently you sensed a profound shift, as though a door inside you had closed behind you and you could no longer return to your former reactions. The circumstances you faced were not easy, and what wounded you was not imaginary. Someone genuinely disappointed you. Words truly cut deeply into something you had tried to protect. And a real injustice placed you in a situation where few people would have blamed you for becoming angry, retaliating, or turning away. Yet, in the place where every familiar instinct urged you to make someone experience what they had caused you, a more honorable part of you spoke. You did not deny the pain, but neither did you allow it to govern you. You chose to preserve purity in the way you acted, and that choice marked a degree of growth no one can take from you. Most people respond according to what they receive. When treated kindly, they find it easy to be kind. When insulted, they immediately desire to insult in return. When betrayed, they seek a way to wound another person so that the balance seems restored. This response is understandable because a wound always attempts to transfer its weight somewhere else. But if everyone returned exactly what they received, pain would continue moving from one heart to another, from one family to another, and from one generation to the next. You stood at this crossroads and refused to become the next link. You did not allow another person's wrongdoing to transform you into someone you could no longer respect. This did not make their offense less serious, but it prevented the offense from multiplying through your hands and words. I call this disciplined strength, the ability to preserve your freedom to choose even when emotion cries out for revenge. Perhaps there was a conversation during which you knew you could speak words powerful enough to hurt the other person deeply. You possessed secrets, weaknesses, and truths that could have humiliated them if exposed. A part of you wanted to use these things as weapons to reclaim a sense of justice. Yet you stopped. Your silence was not cowardice, nor did it mean you lacked words. You remained silent because you understood that one moment of satisfying anger could leave consequences lasting far longer. You refused to become what had wounded you. No one may have witnessed this restraint, but I saw the battle within you, where pride, anger, and wisdom all spoke at once. In the end, you gave authority to what allowed you to preserve dignity. Perhaps you also had an opportunity to expose someone's mistake before a crowd, but chose to address it privately or refused to use their failure to improve your own image. This does not mean you must hide dangerous behavior or protect someone who continues harming others. Nobility does not require silence before injustice. And compassion is not an excuse for tolerating abuse. But when you knew that exposure would serve only revenge rather than protection, you chose to stop. You distinguished between speaking truth to prevent harm and using truth like a blade. This distinction demonstrates that you are leaving instinctive reaction behind and entering a wiser way of living. You are no longer asking what you can do to make someone suffer. You are beginning to ask what will keep you faithful to the values planted within you. There were moments when you had every right to leave, and no one could have condemned you if you had ended every effort. You were tired, disappointed, and repeatedly forced to gather the pieces after someone else created chaos. Yet you remained a little longer to complete what had to be completed. Speak a final word with kindness, or give someone the opportunity to accept responsibility. I know that remaining did not always mean continuing the relationship. Sometimes you stayed long enough to close matters with integrity and then left without carrying regret. What mattered was not whether you stayed or departed, but that your decision was not made merely to punish someone else. You acted through wisdom rather than allowing pain to pull you into a hurried choice. This is the sign of someone who has begun to govern themselves. I want you to understand that grace does not mean pretending that you were never wounded. You do not need to smile while breaking within, nor must you immediately declare forgiveness while your heart remains shocked. Grace first means refusing to let the wound become your commander. You can cry, need distance, say clearly that what someone did was wrong, and establish a boundary that cannot be crossed. You may still seek protection, advice, or necessary support. Gentleness does not remove firmness when firmness is required. And peace does not require you to return to a place that repeatedly broke you. You are permitted to leave a relationship with a cleaner heart rather than remain until bitterness takes root. You are allowed to refuse a repeating cycle without cursing the one who created it. When you respond differently from what pain demands, you prove that your character no longer depends entirely upon the way others treat you. When someone is kind, you know how to appreciate it. But when they are unjust, you still refuse to give them the authority to change what is good within you. This is a great form of freedom. While living reactively, you allow others to control your emotions and behavior. One sentence spoken into a wound can pull you away from peace. One cold response can cause you immediately to question your worth. But when the foundation within becomes stronger, you are no longer controlled so easily. You still feel pain, but you do not act blindly. You still recognize injustice, but you do not allow it to make you lose direction. You begin living from your values rather than from provocation. Do not therefore assume that you must always react perfectly. There will still be moments when you speak too quickly, lose your calmness, or need to return and apologize. Growth does not mean never being wrong. It means recognizing more quickly, accepting responsibility sooner, and refusing to use another person's wrongdoing to justify your own. I do not want you to place a new and cruel standard upon your shoulders and condemn yourself whenever you fail to remain completely calm. Learn from each moment. If you reacted unwisely, repair what can be repaired. If you need rest before a conversation, give yourself that pause. If you know a circumstance will activate an old wound, establish boundaries before entering it. Nobility is not merely one heroic moment. It is built through countless small, practical, and responsible choices. I saw the struggles no one knew about. I saw your hand tremble as you prepared to send an angry message and then deleted it. I saw you sit alone, arranging your emotions before speaking with your family. I saw you refuse to tell a story that could have turned many people against the person who hurt you because you knew your purpose at that moment was only to gather allies for your anger. I also saw the times when you cried privately and still stepped outside with kindness. Not to pretend that you were strong, but because you did not want to pour your burden upon someone innocent. These are not signs of weakness. They show that you possess the capacity to contain emotion without allowing it to overflow and destroy everything around you. Yet remember not to use grace as a reason to continue enduring what needs to end. A person of good character is not someone who always remains despite every wound. Sometimes the noblest choice is to leave peacefully. At times, self-control is demonstrated by refusing to argue further, refusing to return and explain again, and refusing to give another opportunity to someone who has repeatedly rejected responsibility. Forgiveness does not require restoring every relationship. Refusing revenge does not mean ignoring your safety. You can preserve a heart free from resentment while locking the door through which chaos once entered. I want your goodness to be joined with wisdom so that you do not become bitter, but neither remain easy to exploit. What happened recently has carried you across an inward threshold. From this point onward, you will notice that the things that once provoked you do not have the same power. Those who used silence, guilt, or provocation to control, you will discover that former methods no longer work. This is not because you have become cold, but because you have learned to recognize manipulation before it pulls you into the cycle. You know that you do not need to respond immediately. You do not have to defend yourself before every misunderstanding. You can allow time, action, and truth to speak. This calmness creates space between provocation and response. And within that space, your freedom is restored. I am not lifting you because you endured better than everyone else, but because you have begun transforming endurance into wisdom. You are learning to allow pain to teach without governing you, betrayal to make you more discerning without destroying your ability to love, and injustice to make you protect what is right rather than become someone who desires destruction. This is why your choice carries weight. A person who remains kind when everything is easy has not been tested deeply. But someone pushed to their limit who still seeks to act cleanly has touched another depth. You do not need a medal for this. Growing peace, greater clarity, and freedom from former reactions will become the true reward. Therefore, continue walking without needing to prove your growth to anyone. Do not retell your good actions in search of praise. And do not expect the person who hurt you to immediately recognize your nobility. They may never understand how hard you fought not to retaliate. But you did not make this choice for them. You made it so that you would not lose yourself. Preserve this purity while protecting your heart through clear boundaries. Speak when speaking is necessary. Remain silent when words will only increase confusion. And leave when your presence is continually dishonored. You are no longer required to return to the world exactly what it gave you. You can receive pain without spreading pain. See darkness and still choose light. And pass through injustice without allowing injustice to rewrite what is good within you. This is the deepest victory no one can take from you. You have not been left behind, nor have you lost what truly belongs to you. because the years that appeared delayed were quietly making you deep enough, steady enough, and clear enough to enter a lasting journey. I know how often you watched others move forward, receive recognition, build something significant, and reach milestones for which you were still praying. During weak moments, you wondered whether you had taken the wrong road, moved too slowly, or missed an opportunity that would never return. But, my child, do not use another person's timeline to judge the work being built within you. While they were brought into public view, you were preserved in hidden rooms where you learned patience, faithfulness, and the ability to remain standing when no one was watching. I am not preparing you for one moment of brightness that quickly disappears. I am building a foundation capable of supporting an entire mission, so that when the door opens, applause will not cause you to lose direction, and the world's attention moving elsewhere will not cause you to collapse. There is a reason you have never been completely satisfied with a life that merely repeats what is familiar. Even while trying to blend into the crowd, you continued hearing a quiet call within, telling you that you were created for something deeper. You do not need to become strange or isolated in order to prove that you are special. But neither can you continue living inside patterns that cause the light within you to grow smaller. I did not call you to stand apart so that you could look down upon others. I called you to stand firmly so that you could become support. Speak when silence causes harm, and extend a hand to those who have not yet found the strength to rise. Feeling misplaced does not always mean that you are useless. It may indicate that you are attempting to take root in soil that no longer suits what is growing within you. The weight you carry must also be understood wisely. Do not immediately conclude that every form of exhaustion is a spiritual sign. And do not feel ashamed if you need rest. Conversation with someone trustworthy, or professional support. I do not ask you to deny genuine physical and emotional needs in order to prove your faith. Some burdens arise from great responsibility, sensitivity to the suffering of others, and the fact that you have needed to remain strong for too long. But sometimes exhaustion is simply a reminder that you need care. Maturity is found in knowing the difference, refusing to romanticize pain, and refusing to use spiritual language to force yourself to continue suffering silently. The mantle of your calling may carry weight, but it was not given to crush you. It must be worn together with peace, healthy boundaries, and sufficient rest. You are becoming a voice. But first, I am teaching you to listen. You may be used to intercede for others. But first you must understand that you are not responsible for saving everyone. You may become a place where others discover hope. But this does not mean they are permitted to consume all your energy and cross every boundary. I am making your heart wider while sharpening your discernment. You will learn when to speak, when to remain silent, when to stay, and when to leave. A genuine calling does not turn you into someone who is constantly exhausted. It leads you toward an ordered life where love is not separated from wisdom, and service does not mean abandoning yourself. I know you asked why trials seemed to increase when you tried to live more uprightly. There were moments when you chose forgiveness instead of retaliation and were regarded as weak. You kept your word, lived honestly, and refused an easier path, yet appeared to receive no benefit. Do not therefore believe that righteousness is useless. Each time you refuse to let pain make you bitter, an old chain is broken. Each time you choose obedience over temporary comfort, Your capacity to carry something greater is formed. Darkness always tries to convince you that integrity will only disadvantage you. But the truth is that what is built upon deception cannot stand for long. While a foundation laid through uprightness may grow slowly but will not be easily shaken. I saw you during the moments when you felt least worthy. I did not wait until you became perfect before calling your name. When you believed you possessed only fragments, I saw material for a new structure. Your wounds are not beautiful merely because they hurt. What is precious is that you refuse to let them become the ending. You learned empathy during days when no one understood you. Learn to recognize sadness behind a smile because you once concealed it in the same way. And learn to strengthen others without making them ashamed because you know the pain of being looked down upon. I do not call what you endured good. I only tell you that even those dark places cannot remain outside the power of redemption and transformation into wisdom. During the times when you believed you had been forgotten, many things were still being prepared quietly. Some people were being taught how to recognize the value you carry. Certain connections were being arranged to arrive when both sides had matured enough. Some doors remained closed because you needed additional time to learn how to preserve what you would receive. I do not promise that everything will happen exactly as you imagine. But I remind you that silence does not always mean absence. A seed beneath the ground makes no sound. Yet, within it, the shell is breaking open with great force. You passed through seasons like this. Outwardly, it appeared that you were standing still, while inwardly, limits were breaking. Your thinking was changing, and endurance was being formed that rapid success could never have created. Now is not the time to make yourself smaller merely because you have become tired. But moving forward does not mean running until you collapse. Rise in a more mature way, rest when necessary. Prepare what must be prepared, and speak the truth when the proper moment arrives. You did not pass through so many trials merely to continue living as someone who asks fear for permission before every decision. Dreams that were sleeping are being awakened, but they need your cooperation through practical action. Rewrite the plan, learn the skill, connect with wise people, and begin with the small part you can accomplish today. I can ignite the flame within you, but you must protect it through discipline. Inspiration begins a journey. Faithfulness carries it to where it needs to go.